always right. Sometimes there's stupid idiots that should not be allowed to engage with society.
That's not true what you're saying. That's what I'm telling you. What you're saying is not true.
I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. Do you work here?
So Filipino auntie was like, the fabric is supposed to be like that. Ah, bitch, I know!
The customer is always right. Not really. Not really. A lot of times they wrong as hell. Okay? And they need to be told when they wrong. That's the only way they're gonna learn. All right? Let's get into these stories.
The customer is not always right, and we need to stop letting people think that they are, because it is such outdated thinking. And when people think that the customer is always right, it gives them the entitlement to act however they want towards workers. Because you can tell when a customer thinks that they're always in the right, because they're always the rudest and just like most asshole people you will ever meet, especially when you're working. They will call you stupid, say that you can't do your job, like just degrade you because of their own mistake. I was working at a concession stand once, and so our most popular item was this thing called the loaded dog, and it was this hot dog with chili and cheese on it, right? And so it was also our featured item. And so this lady, she orders it. She's like, I want the loaded dog. So she pays whatever, and then we make it and we give it to her. And she's like, I didn't order this. You know, and I'm sorry, like, what did you order then? She's like, I ordered the loaded dog. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, this is what it is. It's a hot dog with chili and cheese. And she's like, oh, well, how was I supposed to know that chili came on it? I don't want it with chili. And so immediately I'm thinking, I'm like, well, on our menu, the loaded dog, in big bold, it says comes with chili and cheese on top of it. And on our featured menu item, there's a picture of it, of a hot dog with chili and cheese. And so I'm like, man, this is what comes on it. If you didn't want it, then like you shouldn't have ordered this. And she's like, well, how am I supposed to know what comes on it? Like, as a business, why are you not warning your customers what comes on your hot dogs? And I'm like, ma'am, on our menu, there is a description of what comes on it, and there's a featured picture that has exactly what is on it. I'm like, so ma'am, you had plenty of opportunities to see what came on it. And then she pulled the whole, oh, well, you know, as a customer, like, you should honor my request and I want my money back or whatever. So we were like, ma'am, we're not giving you your money back. Like, we'll remake something for you, but we're not giving your money back. And she was like, oh, well, as a customer, you know, I'm always right. And she went through that whole like tirade of it, and we're like, no, like, this is your fault. You can't read simple directions, and then you're gonna get mad at me. It's just the audacity to think that the customer is always right when you were clearly in the wrong, and then you want to like degrade the public service workers just because you're mad now, and then you just want to default on the, oh, but I'm always right, so I can say whatever I want. Like, no, that's not how this works, all right? I will match that same energy as you.
I think I know what happened. See, sometimes people will have the same name for stuff, but it'll be different. Like, she could have went somewhere previously and got something called the loaded dog at another place. And she thinks when she comes to this concession stand that when they say loaded dog, they mean the same as the other place did. And that's not it. Two businesses could have the same name for an item, but the items be made totally different. Okay? So you gotta, she just assumed. And you know what they say about people who assume stuff. Okay? And yeah, let's move on.
You know, the customer is not always right. Sometimes there's stupid idiots that should not be allowed to engage with society. Hold on, I'm upset. Let me tell you what happened, right? I'm a seller on Poshmark. I had these pants up, okay? They're size 23, but really, in reality, they measure size 26, which is the reason why I'm selling them. They're wrong. I put this pants up for sale. I say this is a size 23. I show the tag, everything still attached. Then I show another picture of me measuring the pants flat. And I'm like, but actually, the waist is a 26. I show the pictures. I have it in the description, and I'm like, okay, whoever buys this will know that this pants is a true 26. I even put the size for the listing as 26. And then in the description, I say, although they say they are size 23, they really fit like a 26. Now, someone buys these pants, okay? 3-4 days ago. All of a sudden today, I'm getting a message saying, what are these pants? This is not what I ordered, and blah, blah, blah. This is not a size 26. Okay. Let me take screenshots of the original listing and send them back to you, because apparently you can't read. I was like, In the pictures of the listing, I clearly showed that the waist of this pants is a size 26. And also, I shared in the description that these pants are labeled size 23, but in reality, they measure as a size 26. If someone who is actually a size 23 or 24 decides to buy this, it will not fit them. It will not fit them. So I felt like, obviously, I needed to disclose this, that they're coming after me, blah, 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 you lied, you're a fraud, blah, 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 you misleading, and you were doing all of this to get a sale. And I was like, how am I misleading if I stated it twice in the listing? Did you not read the listing? Did you just click buy? Dumbass. Why didn't you read it? Now, they have Poshmark support in the chat or whatever. Obviously, here's my proof. Like, I clearly stated that this is not surprising. You got exactly what was in this listing. I like forget about it. I see like an hour or two later, the buyer, they send a photo of them measuring the jeans, but they're holding the jeans on the inside and stretching them out. Guess what it measures now? 14 inches. The waist now measures 14 inches because they're grabbing the jeans from the inside and they're stretching it. You know what they said? She was wrong. It's not a size 26. It's actually a 28 because the waist measures 14. And you want to know what Poshmark said? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. We're gonna give you a refund and don't worry. Bestie, keep the item. Oh! Are you kidding me? So you mean tell me none of the Poshmark support team probably uses a brain cell when they're trying to close out tickets? I mean, you could not see the person holding the jeans stretching them out? Not one brain cell was like, that's weird. That's weird. No, she said, keep the item, keep the item. And then at the end, she's like, oh, seller, me, did you receive the payout? I'm not responding to that. I'm like, did you not see them obviously stretching out the jeans to make it 1 inch longer than I already specified that it was? Why are you rewarding them, essentially giving them free product and giving them a refund? People are stupid! Why? Like, I'm not even mad about the jeans. It's the fact that they're getting away with it somewhat. Like, they are sliding through time and space being that fucking dumb. And they're getting rewarded. Oh, don't sell on Poshmark.
Yeah, man, something like that would piss me off because I got all the evidence. Like, I have all the evidence, Poshmark, that I am telling the truth about this. And they're lying. All the evidence points in my favor. And you still rule in their favor? Yeah, we got a problem. We got a problem. Because it's a customer service person who don't care. And they, who knows how many emails or whatever they got to get through it in a day, and they just gonna go through them as quickly as possible. They're not gonna look. But if you would have looked, you would have realized that, hey, my seller is right and this customer is wrong. And yeah, but you know, that's terrible that the customer did that to scam for some free stuff, and it's terrible that customer service didn't actually do the job they were supposed to do. And it's 2 against 1, and she lost. That's terrible. Let's go.
And to these white folks that be coming to my job, please don't come in here on my shit thinking you finna run some shit, because I promise you're not finna run it. The lady, I'm on the computer. Mind you, it's a line. It's 2 computers over there. The white lady comes straight to my computer and say, hey, print this out for me. Excuse me? I sit up. I look at the line. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. It's a line. And I'm working on another customer thing right now, so I can take care of your assignment when I get to you.
Yeah, why people don't have patience? It's a line. If you ever went to Office Max to print out something, there's self printers where you can go and put your documents on and print it out yourself. And then the person behind the desk there, behind the computer, can also print out your stuff too. But instead of standing in the line, she just want to go to the desk instead of standing in line. Even if you do use her to print out your stuff, you still have to stand in line and go by order. You can't just jump to the front and jump to her. And some people just feel entitled. And that's what this was. And this is not going to fly. A lot of people, what makes it bad is that some people allow them to get away with this stuff. So the next time they figure that they should do it this time too. Like, I did it at this other store, they let me get away with it there, so let me just do it here, because what are they gonna say? La, 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 la. let's keep going.
So I finished doing what I'm doing. Mind you, I'm a cashier. So the stuff that I do know over there, it's 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna need some help with. So I'm waiting on my manager to help me. She gonna say, do you know this lady gonna say something else to me? This lady gonna look me dead in my face and say, oh, can you do it now since you just standing there? Hey, bitch, who is you talking to? I just straight started staring at this. So I'm like, I'm trying to make sure, like, is she dead ass serious, like, or is she playing? Then I'm trying to make sure, like, is this her really talking to me? Like, cause she had shades on. Y'all know how white folks do wear shades inside a building. So then I'm like, oh, I'm busy doing somebody else's project, like I already said. And it's also a customer in front of you, like I already said. Do you know this bitch gonna call me rude? Bitch,
Hey Mia, this is Chantel. What's going on? How can I help you? Okay. Okay, Mia, calm down. It's okay. Calm down. Okay. All right. No, Mia, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, well, let me get my travel screen up, and then, do you need a break?
Oh, you're talking to an employee.
After you transfer the call to me, go ahead and put yourself on the clock and use my name. Yeah, take 15. You're welcome. Don't worry about it. Okay. Good afternoon, Transportation Escalations. I'm Chantel. I'm going to take over this call. How can I help you? No, I didn't get any information from the previous agent. Okay, let me stop you right there. Don't disrespect me and don't curse at me, and I'll give you the same courtesy. If you want me to help you, all I need from you is your location and your destination. So where are you located? Okay, you at the Uptown station. And what's your destination? Okay. And what time are you expecting your bus? Yes, it does make a difference what time you're expecting it. Because if you sit... Okay, all I need you to tell me is what time you were expecting your bus, so I can see if your bus is late or if it came early or whatever the case is, what happened to your bus, so we can move forward from there. So, what time were you expecting your bus?
Yeah, people just come this call. I know what happened on the other end of this phone. Where the bus at? Which bus? Like, I know, like, there's a lot of buses out there, a lot of stops. Like, you know the information in your head, and you think they just automatically supposed to know, but they don't know until you tell them. Okay, you have to speak. You have to speak. They not mind readers. I know that's on the other end of this phone. Where the bus at? Like, what bus, player? I know that was what said. Oh, I wish I could hear the other end of this, but I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what it is.
There isn't a 2:10 bus for that route. The last bus was at 1:30, the next one's at 2:30, so it's not due there yet. What year is that scheduled from? What's the date on that schedule? 2022? Okay, well, our schedules changed last year in 2023, so the schedule you have is obsolete. The next bus isn't due there until 2:30. You're asking me why you don't have an updated schedule? I can't answer that. No, we don't automatically mail out schedules. If anyone wants a schedule, they could either go to headquarters and pick one up, they could pick one up on the bus, or they
online,
can call
right?
and request one be mailed to them. You're asking me about things that happened 2 years ago. Okay, and that's fine. Yes. No, I will not. You can't have an Uber because your bus isn't late. You went to the bus stop expecting the bus to come at 2:10. That's not our fault.
Did you want them to pay for an Uber for you? Is that what we just... What? Man, we are crazy. Like, sometimes we gotta look at ourselves in the mirror and say, you crazy. Like, for real, it takes it takes that. You can't fix a problem until you admit you have one. That is step number one. Okay? You can't fix your crazy until you admit that you crazy. What is wrong with people, man? Like, what? These y'all are just, that's why I can't work a job where, like, customer service or anything like this. I've tried it. I've done it. I didn't like it. I did a job where I was talking on the phone and I got fired because I kept hanging up on people. I can't do it. I can't do it. But she is wonderful at it, and I'm liking how she's handling this. But let's keep going.
Well, actually, I would say no one's at fault. You didn't know, so you went at the time that you thought you should have went. And I would say that's just human nature. If you think a bus is coming at 2:10, that you go to the bus stop at around 2 o'clock, but there is no 2 o'clock bus. And that's not our fault either. Because the bus is due there at 2:30, is going to be there at 2:30. As of right now, it's running on time. Okay. Okay, I transfer you over to the mail room. You can give them you can give them your information, and they'll have that mailed out to you. Yes. You as well. I'm transferring you now.
And y'all, I can't stand when a customer comes to your job and they trying to tell you how to do your job, or they trying to tell you what the policies are. Bitch, who the fuck work here? Who work here? And y'all, I can't stand when a customer comes to your job and they trying to tell you how to do your job, or they trying to tell you what the policies are. Bitch, who the fuck work here? Who work here?
Whoever is the sadistic bastard who came up with the idea that the customer is always right deserves a fate worse than death. Because, look, I can't guarantee or promise much in life, but if there is one thing that I can absolutely promise you, okay, it's the fact that the customer is, in fact, not always right. And I firmly believe that's the very reason why Karens have gotten to the level of absolute fucking insanity that they've gotten to, is because of this mantra that, well, the customer is always right. How dare you speak to me like this? The customer is always right. Bitch, no, you're not. I'm sorry. There are definitely times where you can be 100% fucking wrong. Like, I'm sorry. I have spent the entirety of my professional working career in the customer service field, and I am telling you, okay, people are assholes. The amount of entitlement that exists with some of you people, where you feel like you can go out into the public and treat people at their jobs like absolute shit just because you believe that the customer is always right. I'm sorry, but you deserve to be grabbed and slapped across the face. In theory, the customer is always right is basically a way for companies to tell their employees, look, we're going to do whatever it takes to make our customers happy. However, because people ruin fucking everything, especially Karens, okay, they've taken that and now warped it into this ideology that I can act like a total dickhead in public and people are gonna still treat me respectfully. The sad thing is, the only people that agree and can relate to this right now are the people who have spent time in the customer service industry, okay? These are people who have been in food service, in retail, in hospitality, okay? Unless you've worked in those positions where you've had to deal with the general public, you have no idea what we're talking about. Because if you've never worked in those industries before, you couldn't know what we're talking about. It's like, have you met you? Have you ever sat down and spent an hour and a half with you, okay? Some of y'all are ridiculous. I'm sorry, it's just true. Fuck the military draft. You know what we need to do? When you turn 18 years old, you need to serve a mandatory 2 years in the food service industry, in retail, in customer service, okay? So you can see what that shit is like to be out there dealing with the public. I genuinely think if we have a mandatory draft to that capacity, you're gonna see a lot less stupidity out in the world. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, okay? The customer is not always right. You can, in fact, be absolutely 100% wrong.
I agree that we should all have to work some type of customer service where we're dealing with people, some type of job where we're dealing with people, because that would help everybody understand. Like, I used to work fast food for a long time. I was there too long, but I would often see people complain about stuff that's like, why? Like, the one Burger King I worked at, there was a bus stop right there that we could see from inside the store. And a guy came in one time, and it's like a whole line. It's like we got a big line up there. And he back there talk about, the bus about to come. I need to order my food now. Like, what are you talking about? It don't matter. Just because the bus here, it's the other people in the line need to catch the bus too. You can't just get in front of everybody because you need to catch the bus. You should have came in here earlier. This is not our fault. You got to deal with it, or go back out there and catch your bus, player. People is weird these days, man.
You know how they say the customer is always right? Well, if you've ever worked in customer service, then you know the customer be wrong as hell. And I've had about 5 retail jobs, so I get it. I've dealt with a lot of customers. I cannot lie, though. Sometimes I'll be that wrong-ass customer. So I bought this cordless vacuum on Amazon, and I've been a big fan, loved it so much. Like, it has a removable battery, and you charge it. And I charged the battery a couple times, but then the last time I tried to charge it, it wasn't working. So I go on the website and make a warranty claim, and I'm like, I don't know if it's the battery or the charger, but something's faulty because I used it a couple times, and all of a sudden it just died. And they're asking me all these questions like, oh, like, how long have you had it? Did you leave it charging for like over whatever amount of time? Because the instructions say don't do that. And I'm like, nope, followed all the instructions, didn't do none of that. And then the guy's like, okay, send me a video of you plugging the charger into the wall and then plugging the charger into the battery. And I'm like, okay. So I send the video, and he's like, that's not the right charger. I'm like, well, this is the charger that came with it, so I don't know what to tell you. And also, I'm like, it worked the first 2 times I used it, so the charger worked. And he's like, are you sure? Because that is not the charger for that battery, and like, that's why it's not working. And I'm like, it's plugging into the hole, and this is all I got, so... And I wasn't rude, but, you know, I was saying that, like, I wanted my situation rectified. I was just asking, like, can I get a replacement? Like, I understand this isn't right, but this is what was in the box. They sent me another charger. I plugged it in today. It works. Great. Amazing. But, y'all, tell me why he was right. Turns out the charger that I had tried to use for my vacuum was actually the charger for my massage gun. And I discovered that because I went to charge this, and I was like, dang, where's the charger? In my defense, though, I'm about to show y'all both charger ends, and they look very similar. Like, it's easy to mistake. Here they go. Like...
moving. Okay. Yeah, they look pretty similar. But somehow, the man... just by you sending a video, could recognize that that you was using the wrong charger. Just by over video. So, you know, we got to start labeling our chargers though, for our stuff, because they be looking the same. they look the same. I got 2 chargers around here that look the same. One is for my clippers and another is for something else. I can't remember what else I was charging. But yeah, they look the same. And sometimes, you know, I store them right next to each other. And if one don't fit, I go to the next one and say, okay, that's it. But we got to start labeling our chargers. Like we do.
You telling me if you picked up one of these, you couldn't mistake it for the other one? So yeah, shout out to the customer service because they sent me another charger and a replacement filter for my vacuum. And I was definitely in the wrong.
Craziest thing about customer service is that y'all be thinking y'all problems are unique. We've heard it all before. Listen, let me tell y'all something. The customer is not always right. That's number one. Unless you have been trained on the job that I am doing, do not argue with me. You're just gonna end up mad. So story time. A customer calls, he's asking specific questions. And y'all know, when a customer is asking specific questions they shouldn't know to ask, they either trying to trip you up, they talked to somebody before, or they trying to catch somebody in the line. And I ain't stupid. When you're buying a house, a lot of mortgage companies require you to get what's called a wood destroying inspection report, which is basically to make sure that the house is not being ate up alive by termites or any other wood destroying organisms. And different states have different parameters on who can request those letters. So this man starts off asking general questions, but they're kind of specific to a certain process and are the type of questions that only somebody who may have talked to somebody before about this would know. So I can tell he's trying to lead into something. So I'm just listening, letting him set the stage. One question he asks is like,
can the person that's buying the property request a report, or does it have to be the owner?
I said, it really depends on the state, sir. Then he asked me,
so can I, as the buyer of a property, I'm not the owner, as the buyer of the property, can I request that form to be done myself?
And I'm like, in most states you can, but in some states it's mandated that the owner has to do it. As customers do, he gets all hyper-focused on one thing I say and gets all hype.
Ha! So I ordered an inspection online and a technician came out and said that because I wasn't the owner, I could not get a report and it wasn't the proper process, and now you're telling me it doesn't matter.
I'm like, is this the state of California, sir? Because he hasn't told me where he's from. He's like, yes. I said, in the state of California, that is the process. So if that technician told you that, there was a reason why he told you that. So then this fool is all like,
if you don't know your job, just say you don't know your job because you just said that it doesn't matter who does it and blah, blah, blah.
I said, no, if you were listening, I also said that it is up to the state. How do you think I knew that you were from California, sir? He's all like,
that's not true what you're saying. That's what I'm telling you. What you're saying is not true.
I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. Do you work here? Oh, okay. Because what I said is what it is. You thought you was going to call, catch the technician in the lie because you thought he was lying to you. And then when you heard what he said was actually true, you wanted me to agree with you and not the technician.
That's not true. That's not what I was doing.
That is what you're doing, sir.
You know what? F you, man. F you.
Okay, you still going to need the letter. I say this all the time. Y'all hanging up on us? It's not hurting our feelings because you still got a problem.
Sometimes people like just hear what they want to hear too, and I think he just he called because he wanted to prove himself right. So all he's gonna hear in his ears is the part that proves himself right. He's not gonna hear nothing else you talk about. Nothing else you talk about. He just gonna take that part where you kind of agree with him and run with it. And that you can't do that. You got to listen to the whole thing. Okay? Not just the part that you like. Okay? All the information has to be absorbed through your ears. Okay? I'm enjoying this video. If you're enjoying this video, man, give me a thumbs up. All right? Comment down below. Tell me your thoughts on this. All right, and if you haven't hit subscribe yet, you know, your mama, okay? Look, just hit subscribe and it won't be your mama no more. I'm just, you know, let's keep going.
But I don't really like the way we're dealing with these customers that continue to show their ass. Like, and I mean like show it. Like show it. Like I've worked in customer service for a while, so I've seen all types of customers. And the one type of customer that I don't understand that continues to be allowed to come back to any establishment that deals with customer service, whether it's a hotel, whether it's a gym, whether it's a restaurant, no matter where it is, like it's always that one customer that continues to cause a scene. And I'm not talking about no itty bitty like rude customer that has a quick attitude, because I'll eat that up. That's nothing. But I'm talking about the ones that continuously make it hard for employees to do their job. The ones that cause employees to cry, the ones that cause employees to literally do insane things to the point just to please them so they won't act insane, you know? And most of the times, like, we're altering these things, it's solely due to the fact we're doing things that, like, are against company rules just so the person can be happy, and we need to stop letting that happen. What I've noticed is that capitalism has infused this customers always right mentality just because we value their dollar more than the actual employees' like mental health. Like, to the point where, like, we are allowing these people to continue to show their face at these establishments, even though they have already shown so many times that they are just not good people and they should not be allowed back in. Now, I'm telling you right now, if I were to own an establishment and I had a customer come in and they already show their ass, and I mean they show it real good, I'll give them another chance because I believe that everyone's human, everyone can have a bad day. But if you come back 3 months later on a different day, different time period, you can change your life in 3 months and you're still rude and you're still showing out, then that just proves that this is your personality. This is who you are. So you're not going to get that third chance. And if I do give you the third chance, best believe I'm talking to you the second time. And I'm going to let you know that, hey, this is the second time you've came here and you've acted very outlandish. You cannot do this again. And if you do, you will not be allowed back into my establishment. Simple as that. I feel like it just makes so much more sense in that type of way, because why do they get multiple chances? When an employee messes up, y'all are writing them up the second they do it. So therefore, keep the same energy with the customers. Keep it like the same. It got to be both ways. You know, I just can't do all this rude customers and seeing all these videos popping out with all these like customers causing the employee to have breakdowns because they just don't care about anyone else but themselves. They think that just because we have a job and that we have to do it and this is what we get paid for, that it doesn't matter how they treat us in the process of it. Like, because y'all already talked about how y'all don't want to give tips, and we get it. Capitalism needs to start paying us more. But if y'all aren't going to give us the tips, we need support from crazy customers that make our jobs harder. Simple.
I don't see nothing wrong with what she said. You tell me your opinion in the comments, but I don't see nothing wrong with what she said. If you come into my, like she said, establishment, and you causing problems, yeah, you should be trespassed from this establishment. Just like we trespass people who shoplift. You should be right on that list with them. I agree.
So here's a fun story. I used to be a customer service manager at Walmart. And yes, it was as horrible as you can imagine. And I hated the customer service desk because it was just people being extremely rude and nasty, like ridiculously so. And one day the cashier rang for me, and I was in the middle of an important conversation with my supervisor, and I was like, okay, I'll go over there in a second. And the customer decided I wasn't paying enough attention, so she decided to whistle, snap her fingers, and point next to herself as if I was a dog. And yes, whatever you're thinking, yes. And my supervisor was like, Rachel, and I was like, look, I'm gonna calm myself down before I go over there because ain't nobody gonna be whistling at me like I'm a damn dog. And do you know how much it just like soothed my soul to tell her no for whatever she was trying to return? I don't remember what it was, but I took so much pride in telling her no. And then she's like, I'm gonna write a letter to corporate. I was like, okay, my name's Rachel. Have a good day. So here's
Hey, I had an instance where it was kind of similar to this, but I was, in the gig economy field, and the last thing I did was delivering groceries from Walmart. And I remember one time I delivered this lady groceries, and I went to go get in my car, and she called for me. She said, hey! And when I turned around, she did this. I was like, what? I froze for a second, and then I realized she had money in her hand, so she was giving me a tip. So that unfroze me. Because if I sold out for, I think it was like a $5 tip, and I went and got it, you know. If she didn't have the money or I didn't see the money, it's a good chance I would have just got in my car and left. But thinking about that is wild, because I was really mad for like a second until money flashed in my face, and I was like, okay, let me go get that. But we got one more.
Guys, I'm sitting here and so I went to go shopping yesterday at a store called Seed, and wait, I was getting this dress, and it had like a crinkle fabric like this. Hang on, I'll show you. So the fabric kind of looked like this, right? It looks like it's crinkled. So I'm trying this dress on, and in the gather bit, there's actually like a crease, right? So I just wanted to see if that crease would smooth out, and it's actually not like a fault in the gather. And I just wanted to see kind of what it looked like when it's all ironed out and nice. But regardless of whether or not this dress had a crease or whatever, I was still gonna buy this. If it was faulty, I'll just ask for like another size 10 that's at the back or whatever. Anyways, so I talked to the lady that was serving me, and I go up with her to the counter, and then I ask her, hey, is it possible that you can actually steam this part of the dress just to see what it looks like when it's like all ironed out and smooth? Like, I don't need the whole dress to be steamed. I just need the little bit here. It's, you know. And so another salesperson was serving a different lady, and we were both at the counter at the same time. As I'm talking to my lady that was serving me, I was like, hey, yeah, like, are you able to steam it, blah, blah, blah. My salesperson talks to the other salesperson and was like, hey, can we steam this? Is the steam on? Like, blah, blah, blah. Are you able to steam it? So the other salesperson lady was like, yeah, I definitely can. It'll just take 10 minutes, which I was like, yeah, like, that's fine, whatever. Then this other fucking lady, other customer that was at the counter at the same time as I was, she was like, no, mind you, she was a Filipino auntie. I could tell, right? Like, by the accent, by everything, mannerism, Anyway, I digress. So Filipino auntie was like, you know, the fabric is supposed to be like that. Bitch, I know! I was here. She was there for the entirety of the conversation about me saying, hey, there's a crease here. I fucking know the fabric is built like this. I know the fabric is built like this. And then so she's like, no, the fabric is supposed to be like that. If you steam it, it's gonna be the same. Bitch! And then I was there like, yeah, I know the fabric. I know the fabric is like a crinkle fabric. I know this is like a crinkle fabric. I understand that. There's a crease at the waistline. That's not part of the fabric. Tita, auntie. So the salespeople ladies are talking to each other, and then this lady is still interjecting, even after the fact that I told her, I know that this is a crinkle fabric. There is literally a crease at the front. And she's still insisting. Oh, you can't steam it because it will be the same. Wait, I wanted to turn and be like, Tita, Mario Sep, ay, nako, what the fuck? So I'm like, I don't want to be in this environment. I'm going to combust. My head is gonna, you know that emoji, that was gonna be me if I stayed any longer. And so I was like to the ladies, look, don't worry about it. I'll just take it, call it a day, whatever. And then so the auntie, oh, her face, oh, she was like, yeah, like, oh, I totally did that. Like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, you look dumb as fuck. Even the salespeople know what I was talking about. They knew that there's a crease. They knew that I knew that the fabric is supposed to be like this. Man, as I'm sitting here and I'm like really deeping that interaction, there was so many things I could have said in that moment that would have just, do you get what I mean? To the other lady. But like, my mother had to raise me like a respectful human being. I blame my mom. I blame her. Yeah, anyway, so that's my story. Just love ya, bye.
For me, man, when I go out and I go to a business or whatever, go to pitching a business, my goal in me is to make this employee's job as easy as possible. You know, when I call places, my goal is to make the person on the other end of the phone make their job as easy as possible. Hold on, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, I just had to talk with my insurance company because my car was vandalized last month. Put in an insurance claim. The insurance said that the car is a total loss, so they paid me for it. And I go open the app, you know, and they still have scheduled a payment that's supposed to come out automatically on the 15th of the full amount, including the car insurance I was paying for a car I don't have anymore. So when I call the insurance company to talk about, hey, you know, why is it still saying a full payment is coming out when I no longer have a car? I know that the person that answers the phone doesn't know what happened with my car. They don't. So I explained the whole story to them. And then at the end, I say, hey, I'm just trying to figure out why why is the app still saying it's going to take a full payment out when the show should be canceled? I don't just call and say, hey, you know, I don't have no car no more and y'all still trying to charge me for it. That doesn't help the person on the other end of the phone. All right, stop. Help them out a little bit. Okay, make their job as easy as you can make it. Because if you do that, your experience at that establishment will go smoother. It really is. It really would. All right. Yeah, that's it for this video. I know it's been a long one, but I appreciate you rocking with me all the way to the end. Check out the merch store. The link is in the description box. Got some nice stuff over there. All right. I'll see you in the next video.